Yo guys, Resident Evil is back, and this time it is more darker and also more mysterious and possibly also more terrifying than ever before. Capcom has officially revealed Resident Evil 9 Requiem, and with that finally putting an end to all these supposed leaks, to the speculations that were going on, and to the wishful thinking in which direction the franchise is going from now on. We have a full cinematic trailer which confirms the title and some juicy official information straight from Capcom also and PlayStation. And in this video I want to break down some of the points that you can see from the trailer. You can find my reaction somewhere down in the description or over here on the screen. Watch that video if you want, and then you can also watch, of course, the trailer, but I'm going to break down different points from the trailer. With Resident Evil Requiem, we have a title where Capcom is saying, hey, this is a true survival horror experience. And not just like action with jump scares, but a bit more back to the roots. The creative lead behind Resident Evil 9 is the same one as with Resident Evil 7. That means that we are going to see more atmosphere, more grounded horror, and just a return to this strong feeling of fear. And three things are already confirmed. First of all, it is going to be a single player only game. Then also that it is heavily story driven and that it's going to be featured at the Gamescom this August, where you can also play the game on site. But I wouldn't expect a demo of this game coming anytime soon. Capcom is notorious for taking a bit more time with that. And here we can go into the trailer, and the trailer opens with a look inside the FBI, where we meet the protagonist, Grace Ashcroft. Her name isn't just random, actually she is the daughter of Alyssa Ashcroft. Alyssa Ashcroft is a character from the game Resident Evil Outbreak, and now a question to the true fans, who of you actually remembers that game? But why Outbreak never has really been confirmed as canon. Capcom seems to want to pull from this idea of Resident Evil Outbreak and put it also into this modern timeline that we have now. And the classical Resident Evil manner, Grace is actually investigating different cases of murders tied with an unidentified disease. And her superior is actually giving her a specific task to go to the location called Brentwood Hotel. And well, as fate wants it to be, that's also where Grace's mother, Alyssa, has actually been murdered 8 years ago. And there we get also a little flashback which gives us the idea that it could be that we're gonna play Alyssa also for a part of the game, actually similar like we have been playing Mia in different segments during Resident Evil 7. And I've already mentioned Resident Evil 7 multiple times. It is also that Resident Evil 7 seems to be connected to Resident Evil 9 through a document which you can find, and there's this Easter egg in Resident Evil 7 where you can see an article from Alyssa published in the year 2016, and we know that she is alive during that time, otherwise she wouldn't have published the article. And thanks to the fact that she died 8 years prior to the events of Resident Evil Requiem, we can be basically sure that the game plays around the time of 2024. This is about 4 years after the events of Resident Evil Village. And I don't want to dissect this trailer frame by frame, but we can see that there's this disturbing sequence of Grace undergoing a mysterious surgery at the Brentwood Hotel. She wakes up bloodied and restrained, and as you can see on her body she has different marks that there has been some experimentation on her. And thanks to the fact that we're talking here about Resident Evil, I think it is pretty clear that we're talking here about bioweapons. The body horror is back, and it's not the only thing that is back, because during the trailer we can actually hear a voice refer to Ashcroft's name as something bigger, as something larger, calling Grace the Chosen.
I know now that you're the one that I've been searching for. The special one. The chosen one. Miss Ashcroft.
And this leads me to believe that, well, we could see one of our most beloved old characters here in the game. It is the return of Oswald E. Spencer. Yes, that Spencer that is presumed dead since Resident Evil 5. The Resident Evil universe has already confirmed that people can connect through the Megamai City, like Miranda, Ethan, and Eve. They all can have their consciousness absorbed into this network after death. And this idea was also further explored in the DLC DLC, Shadows of Rose, where characters return via this so-called hive mind. So if it is that Spencer, who had ties with Miranda, also linked himself into this network, could it be that he's now back, maybe even with a new body? I mean, this all is speculation, but everything from this voice, the posture, and the design of the mysterious man in the trailer kinda seems to suggest it. And then we have also this bomb. Well, Raccoon City. We are shown scenes of a ruined Raccoon City post-nuke, the origin point of the whole chaos that is going on in this franchise. And between the different visuals that we can see on screen, there's also this voice flashback, and the different voices that you can hear may actually be from different characters out of the Resident Evil Outbreak universe. So it could be like Kevin, Mark, Jim, David, George, Alyssa, Juko, or even also Cindy.
Investigating all these strange deaths, huh?
We need to keep our voices down.
Have you seen the same shit I've seen?
Please know that you are my hope.
Everyone's gone.
And we possibly also have another reference to Resident Evil Outbreak, because there is a shadowy creature walking along the walls, reminiscent of the suspended enemy from Resident Evil Outbreak. You can kinda imagine this person or monster as a halfway point between a zombie and a licker. And I have to say that this trailer begs the question, okay, is it a memory that we're looking at here right now, or is it the present? With this creature, it is also not clear. Is it the past? Is it the present? Where we are looking at this, but well, whether it is a flashback or not, it suggests that we have back these big ass mutations and new enemies. There are also flashes of different characters that are possibly known. One of the women, for example, is being speculated to be Alex Wesker. Well, it is definitely a name that I did not expect to see again, and that I think has been underutilized in the franchise. You see claustrophobic corridors, you see old enemies that we already know, you see something attacking us. And this all looks like we are here at these two major locations, the Wrenwood Hotel and also Raccoon City. I would say in the comments, people are also speculating that there's again a dual protagonist gameplay going on. Possibly we're gonna have Leon or Jill back. Given the theme of the game, it would make perfect sense in this narrative to bring back one of these legacy characters to confront their past and the things that happened. And I think this is also what the game is doing. You see that the font is also reminiscent of the starting points of the franchise. It looks very similar to the first artworks that we had regarding the game, and Resident Evil 9 Requiem looks like it is just aiming to scare us as much as it did in the past. It's diving into these roots of the franchise, reconnecting storylines probably across decades, and it is pulling on long forgotten characters and themes which we have never seen before. We will see if it is Grace confronting her mother's legacy, if it is going to be Spencer rising from the ashes as the new head of Umbrella, or maybe that this entry, this title, is going to encompass something totally new. And the name Resident Evil 9 can also suggest a variety of things. Requiem, possibly it is a dark, emotional entry, and possibly one of the final steps for the characters that we're going to follow with. So maybe a personal requiem where we have that the title is kind of implying that this person or the individual character arc is coming to an end, and sacrificial end. Or it could also mean, with the idea of a zombie mind, that we maybe have after this a death of a character that will then for the future be said to come back. I would be also interested to know what you have spotted in the trailer. Tell me your thoughts down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends, and check out me on Twitch, YouTube, or TikTok. I would love to have you guys in and also talk about Resident Evil. See you soon, guys. Bye bye.